The biggest question is, how do I know if I'm a good candidate for compressed storage savings? So just in a nutshell, compressed storage, as mentioned, it stores as compressed versus uncompressed. And it's on a per data set level. So if you have 4 or 5 data sets in a project, you can choose which one is going to be compressed or not compressed. And your savings are going to depend on how compressible your data is. So if you have strings, generally it's very, very well compressible. If you have a bunch of integers, maybe you have AdWords or Google Ads or something like that, it's all hit counts. Chances are integers are not going to compress very well. Or one extreme example we saw where it was with the customer was aggregating their Apache style logs to BigQuery and compressing it, and they were getting something like a 13-to-1 compression ratio. If you ever looked at compression ratios, I mean, that is just absolutely amazing just because the structure was so well defined. Their storage costs went down like 75, 80% because of that. So with that said, your purchasing costs can be a pretty big savings that can offset some of the compute increases that are happening here. It comes down to, how do I know if I'm a good candidate or not? And I actually dropped a gist into the chat here that if you run that query, it runs it on a per project basis. But what this query will do is it'll read your information schema, look at your tables, look at your compression ratios, look at your your 7-day fail safe and your time travel versus your current logical storage or uncompressed storage. Compare the values and then come up with the recommendation of, is it cheaper to go to physical storage or to stay on the logical uncompressed storage for every data set in a project? So it's real simple. If you go look at the logic, you'll be able to tell pretty quick, oh, just doing basic arithmetic. It's a very simple query that just looks at things and tells you per data set, are you looking good or not? And it should also give you a compression ratio in there, tell you how good your compression is. Currently, by default, it's set to region US, which is the US multi-region. And the billing is set to that. I've got some settings at the top. You could uncomment and change the billing price, because the billing price between EMEA and APAC in the North America are different. So you may want to change that if you're not looking at the US multi-region.